The camera of your iPhone 13 or 13 Pro or Pro Max can do more than you would think at first glance. That's why today I'm going to show you 15 very useful but still little known camera tricks for your iPhone. So let's get started. As you probably know, there are several ways to launch your iPhone camera. For example, by pressing the camera icon on the lock screen, by swiping to the left on the lock screen, or of course by pressing the camera icon on the home screen. What is often forgotten is that you can also control your iPhone camera with Siri and even without touching the iPhone. Hey Siri, open camera. As you can see, Siri now opens the camera app. Siri also knows other camera commands like take a photo, take a video, or take a time lapse. As you can see, Siri opens the camera app in all these cases, but unlike you would expect, it only opens the app and always in its default mode. It also doesn't start recording. After all, Siri can also open the selfie camera directly with Take a Selfie. Hey Siri, take a selfie. I'll show you how to take a shot in the respective mode just by using Siri in a moment. But before that, check out this method to start recording a video. I double tapped the back of the iPhone to open the camera and immediately started recording a video. It doesn't get any faster than that. Especially not one-handed. This is possible with the help of shortcuts. With shortcuts, you can combine several actions into one command. In my example, I combined the actions open camera, start video capture and save video to one command. Then I assigned the command to the double tap on the back. To set this up, open the Shortcuts app. With the plus, you add a new shortcut. Then you add the following actions. Under Apps, you select the camera app. Then take a video. The next command is already suggested, save to photo album. We give our shortcut a name, take a video. You can also put your command as an icon on the home screen. And with one tap the camera app opens and the recording of a video is started. But we want it a bit cooler, so we assign our shortcut to a double tap. To do this, we open the settings menu, select accessibility, there touch. Then we scroll all the way down, select back tap, and there we assign our new shortcut to the double tap. Of course, this is just an example of how you can use the camera with shortcuts. Basically, you can combine all possible actions into one shortcut. If it is too cumbersome for you to create a shortcut yourself, you can find a number of predefined shortcuts in the gallery of the Shortcuts app. The most interesting camera shortcuts are: say cheese to open the camera app and immediately take a photo, text last image to send your last photo with one tap, post live photo to Instagram converts your last live photo to a video and imports it to Instagram. Photo Grid automatically creates a collage of selected photos. All these shortcuts can now be assigned to a double or triple tap. But not only that, and that brings us to my next trick. Once you have created a shortcut, you can activate the shortcut with Siri. So you can use a shortcut with the help of Siri not only to open the camera app, but also finally to take photos. This way, you can also control your iPhone with Siri and take a group photo and don't have to use the timer. Hey Siri, say cheese. But beware, this only works when your iPhone is unlocked. I'll show you another interesting shortcut in a moment. With the help of these first tricks, I showed you how to control the camera with Siri and shortcuts. But also the familiar shutter button of the camera app has a number of interesting hidden features. If you tap it once, you will of course take a photo. But if you tap and hold it, you take a video. The video recording stops as soon as you lift your finger. This is called Quick Take. If you want to zoom in while recording, you just swipe your finger up. If you want to zoom out, you swipe down. Interestingly, this zoom feature is not available during normal video recording. If you want to shoot a longer video, simply drag the button to the right onto the lock. Now you can also take single photos via the button on the right during the video recording. If you drag the shutter button to the left, your iPhone starts shooting a burst. In this case, 10 photos per second are taken in succession. And that brings me to my next trick, the burst mode and how to create GIFs with it. With the burst mode, you will never miss the right moment again. For this, as I said, just drag the shutter button to the left. This mode is especially good for fast action scenes where timing is important. When you tap on your photos after shooting, you can select the respective burst shot and pick out the best photos via select. Now you can decide if you want to keep only the photos you selected. And the cool thing is, you can also create a GIF out of a burst without any additional app. Again, this is done with the help of a shortcut. So you open the shortcuts gallery again and select the shortcut Convert Burst to GIF. You just add it. Now, when you start this shortcut, you can just select your last burst and your iPhone will then create a GIF from it. But isn't a live photo basically almost the same as a GIF? Not necessarily. The advantage of a GIF compared to a live photo is that the GIF is compatible with other non-Apple devices, so you can send it to friends who don't have an iPhone. A GIF also has that special look and is automatically repeated all the time. Also, as you probably know, the volume buttons have the same functionality as the camera's shutter button. So if you often take burst shots, you can set the volume up button to take a burst shot. You can enable this feature in the settings of the camera app. But what if you captured a really funny movement using live photo and you want to show it to your friends who don't have an iPhone? Then you simply select your live photo, choose share and save as video. Now you can send the movement you captured with live photo as a video. And live photo can even do much more. As you probably know, it can be difficult to get exactly the right moment, especially when taking pictures of people. Sometimes the eyes are closed, sometimes the smile is not perfect. One possible solution would be to use the burst mode. But also with live photo, you can easily solve this problem. You select the live photo you are not completely satisfied with, tap on edit and then on the live photo icon in the lower left corner. Now you can change the so-called key photo and fix your problem. So it's very simple. And I want to show you another useful trick using live photo. You can use live photos to reproduce the effect of a professional looking long exposure. This is useful, for example, to capture the lights of vehicles or running water. You simply take a live photo. You then select your photo and tap on the live icon in the upper left corner. Now you can add an effect to your live photo. Here you choose long exposure and you have your long exposure. To get the best result, I recommend to hold your iPhone as steady as possible. Optimally, you use your iPhone on a small tripod. I will put some links to good tripods for your iPhone in the video description. As you can see, all the tricks I'm showing you today are already very special and also a bit advanced. If you want to learn more about the standard settings of your camera app, I recommend my detailed tutorials about the photo and video settings. You can also find links to them in the video description and at the end of the video. Of course, I would also be happy if you would subscribe to the channel. Earlier, we talked about sending photos or videos to your friends. There is a cool new drag and drop feature that might help you do that. You select a photo in the Photos app, hold your finger on it and drag it, for example, a bit downwards. Now you can select more photos with your other hand. You always keep your finger on the photo. Now you can simply switch the app and can easily insert the photos into a message. This also works with the Notes app or other apps. Currently, unfortunately, not yet with all third-party apps such as WhatsApp. By the way, I have an extra trick for the Photos app. Imagine you want to view a photo in the wrong orientation and rotate your iPhone. Unfortunately, the photo now rotates with it and the photo is displayed incorrectly again. This can be solved easily. You tap and hold the photo. Now you can rotate your iPhone without the photo rotating with it. But back to the actual camera app. Despite all the progress, even an iPhone 13 or 13 Pro is still not a DSLR or mirrorless. Still, you can create a shallow depth of field or a blurred background even with an iPhone. This is possible with the portrait mode for photos and with cinematic video for videos. But both modes still have their weaknesses. Especially the cinematic video mode has difficulties when there are many small details in the image and the edges are not clearly detected. Nevertheless, you don't necessarily have to do without the blurred background even in these cases. Your iPhone can create a blurred background even without portrait mode or cinematic video. You should follow these rules. Get as close as possible to your subject with the camera. The background should also be as far away as possible. You should use the standard lens or even the telephoto lens. And there you have your blurred background. But if you use the portrait or cinematic mode to create a blurred background and you are not satisfied with the result, maybe the edges look unnatural, then you can easily fix this problem. You select a photo, for example, and choose Edit. Using the f-stop here, you can now adjust the blurred background. The higher the value, the lower the effect and vice versa. If you tap on Portrait, you can deactivate the effect completely and have a normal photo. In cinematic video mode, it works exactly the same. On the subject of blurred backgrounds, an extra tip for all video fans among you. With the right app, for example Filmic Pro, you can also create a smooth focus pull manually and in real time. This is not yet possible in cinematic mode. My next trick is quickly explained. If you use the video mode more often than the photo mode like I do, you can also set the camera app to always start in the last used mode, for example the video mode. You do this in the settings of the camera app via preserved settings and camera mode. Now the camera will always start in the mode that was last active, for example in video mode. You can also use creative controls to activate the last used filter when you restart the app. If you often shoot videos with your iPhone and also transfer them to your computer and edit them there, you might have noticed that the videos of your iPhone often show compression artifacts. These are muddy areas in the image that tend to appear especially when the image has a lot of small details in the same color, for example many small branches or blades of grass. These artifacts also occur particularly frequently in 4K 60. These so-called compression artifacts occur because the iPhone wants to keep the size of the video file as small as possible and therefore compresses it heavily. Now, if you use AirDrop to transfer your video to your computer and you have an older Mac, the file will be compressed much more and even more artifacts will appear. The video now looks terrible. This happens even though your computer actually wouldn't have any problems with the format. The same thing can happen if you import the file into Photos and then export it normally. So if you want to get the best video quality even though you have an older computer, here is what you should do. Import the videos via cable into the Photos app and then export them as unedited original. Or if you do not want to do without AirDrop, then go into the settings of the Photos app and activate Keep Originals. So you prevent your videos from being converted and compressed even more, and you get a clearly better image quality for your videos. Now that was pretty technical. So here is a tip, or actually two simple tips for the selfie fans. Often you will extend your arm fully when taking a selfie. It is quite awkward to press the shutter button with the extended arm. In such cases you should use the volume buttons, which have the same functionality as the shutter button. But even more interesting is that your photo will not look like in the preview. Rather, you will get a mirrored result. This can be quite confusing depending on the situation. You can easily fix this problem as well. You can do this in the settings of the camera under Composition by activating Mirror Front Camera. Did you know that your iPhone 13 can not only capture time lapses but also hyperlapses? A kind of time lapse with motion? This is very simple. You open the time lapse mode and start a recording. Now you should hold your iPhone as stable as possible, always at the same height, and move towards or around an object, preferably in straight lines or at least uniformly. You stop the recording and your iPhone stabilizes it automatically. And there you have your hyperlapse. And that's it with my 15 camera tricks. If you found the video helpful or interesting, give me a like as feedback. There will be more tips and tutorials for the iPhone 13 and 13 Pro. So stay tuned and see you next time.